Hi, my name is James Bowden, and this is my video submission for the reading response for Module 8. For this submission, I would like to talk about 3 readings that I felt made the biggest impact on me from these modules, and they really kind of made me reflect and think about what it means to me and for me to be teaching in what some would consider an unjust or an unequal education system. The 3 readings that I would like to focus on are Savage Inequalities by Jonathan Kozol, Jeff Duncan Andrade's article, Note to Educators, and Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Each one of these readings looks at the same issue in different ways. For one, how inequality can impact the way we educate our children, how different students react or respond to these different challenges, and then how teachers can actually make a change, what they can do to make the change that either they or these students may need. I want to start with Kozol's Savage Inequalities because I felt that this book did a really good job of kind of really exposing how unequal the public education system can be in America. And the fact that Kozol visited different schools in wealthy areas and in poor districts, and was able to document the drastic difference that some of these schools saw in the resources they had available to them, the facilities they had, and then the opportunities, even just the opportunities that they were able to offer their students. It was very eye-opening to kind of read about some of the even then back then, some of the same issues that we see today, and some of the same issues that I myself have experienced working in education. It's a little disheartening to see and hear that they've been issues like they have for so long. What really kind of hit me hard about this was realizing how almost systematic the inequalities could be, because the poor schools were overcrowded, they didn't have materials they needed, and the schools in the wealthier areas were almost like overflowing with the things that they needed. And it was just such an obvious contrast between the two. For the next reading, it was Jeff Duncan Andrade's article, and what really kind of hit home for me was the way he issues kind of a challenge to educators, that if there is a inequality that they see, it is kind of up to them to either fix that inequality or allow it to keep happening. It's kind of all the power is in the educator's hands. If they want this to end, it's up to them to make the changes and offer the different opportunities for these kids. This really made me reflect on myself as an educator and how I want my room or my class to be a safe space where these kids feel heard and valued, and they aren't that the struggles they're going through aren't being ignored, and they're being taken into consideration, and they're being given the support that they feel they need, which will help them to blossom or grow, kind of like the roses in concrete that he mentions in his article. In our third reading by Paulo Freire, he talks about how, I believe he calls it the banking method, where the traditional education system can kind of treat kids like these empty containers waiting to be filled or something like that. And what he pushes for more is dialogue between students and teachers, and critical thinking, and making sure that students get to be more active in their learning and not just like passive bystanders. They get to actually have a voice and a say in the way they learn or what they learn. There is a connection that I see between Freyr's ideas and then some of the ideas that Andrade had as well. And they both kind of argue that education shouldn't just help students survive or make it through their day to day, or survive in their unjust world the way that they should. It should help them to transform it or give them the tools they need to change it and better it instead of just making it through.